YouTube, what's going on? This preacher. So after I had that host replaced that was leaking fuel, that mechanic fixed, right? I finished my load. No. I'm out here walking my dog. Come on, girl. So I delivered my load, which that had pissed me off because they loaded my truck an extra 2,400 pounds. So the load's supposed to weigh 45,000 pounds. It was like 44,836 supposed to weigh, right? And so they wind up putting on 47,685 pounds that they wind up putting on. So I was pissed about that. And I called the broker. I'm like, hey, they loaded me like an extra 2,400 pounds, right? And then he was like, well, sorry about that. Well, what can we do about it? Can you carry it? I'm like, well, yeah, I can carry it. I sure can. Give me $500, I carry it all day. So that's what he did. Gave me 500 pounds. Not 500 pounds, like we in England or something. He gave me $500 added on to it, and I carried the load. The load was paying $900 for 211 miles. It was water. I picked up the water load on Sunday. So I had delivered on Sunday, and I picked up a water load on Sunday that delivered this morning, which is Monday, and it had delivered at 6 o'clock this morning. So that 900 turned into 1,400, which was good for me. So I wasn't gonna cry or complain about that. So, but when I did my pre-trip this morning, everything checked out fine. So then I started my truck up and to let it build up air so I could do my little air leak test, right? So after I did that, started it up so I can hear check for air leaks and stuff. When it was starting up, I was like, man, whew, I am smelling some fuel. But I'm thinking because, I need that muffler, right? And so I'm thinking it was coming from the exhaust because I need the muffler, right? But I'm like, man, why in the world it just smelling like fuel? I'm like, man. So I go out from the driver's side around to the passenger side, right? And I'm trying to want to check my exhaust. Now it's dark. It's like 5 something in the morning. So I want to check my exhaust coming from the turbo, back to it. Come here, Luna. Sit. Good girl. So as I'm finna check my exhaust coming from my turbo, going to my muffler, right? Cause I was smelling the fuel coming in the cab. So I'm like, well, I got that whole piece replaced. Did it come off? Did it, so I put my flashlight there and I'm seeing all this wet stuff. I'm like, what is this wet stuff? Now it has been raining too. And it was raining yesterday when I made it to the house. So I'm looking and all of a sudden I'm seeing the drip. I'm like, well, I'm looking and it's yellow. And I'm like, man, is that fuel? So I'm like, oh man, I got a fuel leak. And now I'm trying to figure out where this fuel leak is coming because it's on the passenger side. Now, ain't nothing really on the passenger side. It could be You know, I'm not the mechanic, so it very well it could be that way, but I'm not sure or nothing like that, right? So you the one did it. She got her paws all dirty, and she was inside the bushes and got those little sticker stuff that be sticking to you. So she want to get all that off. I'm like, she the one did it. So I'm looking. I'm like, nah, this running down. So I'm like, well, it's running out on this side. Then I'm just following up the wetness, and then it was up by the exhaust manifold. I'm following up, and now I'm like, okay, well, that let me know where it's coming from now. So now I'm looking in between my heads. In between my heads, I got little jumper lines, right, from the fuel, for go from one head on head. So there's little jumper lines. So one of my jumper lines under behind my first head, it was all wet around there. So I'm like, okay, now I got to replace my jumper lines that goes in between my heads on the first. Luna, 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 Luna. No, you ain't gonna do nothing. She like all bark. God. Stop. Come on. Come on. Sorry about that. So yeah, so my little jumper lines is leaking fuel, so I got to replace the jumper lines. Now I can't do that. It's kind of simple to do. It's 2 screws. It's in between the head. I don't have the tools to actually get in between the head and everything to do it. The easiest way to do it is if you go in between the heads, you unscrew it, right? But you got to clean it out, all that up, and then you can take it out. It's just like taking off the fuel cover plate. Just 2 screws. But the fuel cover plate is in front of the head. This one is in between the heads. So the debris can fall up in there and clog up the lines. I don't wanna do that because that can lead to even more problems. And then the other way you could do it is if you take the head off, right? Take off the cover plate, take the head off, and then it's easier to do it that way. So I'm gonna have my mechanic do it. So after I finished the load this morning, I went and brought it back to my mechanic. He confirmed everything for me. So he had got everything confirmed that it was indeed that. He can't do it on today, which I know he can't do it today, but he did look at it and confirm what I saw, that it was those jumper lines in between the head and stuff. Now he already was finna get ready to do the muffler and then the wire harness, but he wasn't doing that until Friday. So I'm like, well, because we got to wait a day on the parts. So I'm like, well, since we got to wait a day on the parts, that means you're not getting the parts until Tuesday. And by the time on Tuesday come, come on, get out of the people's yard. Don't look at me like that. So by the time he get the parts on Tuesday, he may do it on Tuesday. So I said, could you go ahead and just finish the rest of the stuff, put the harness on and then the muffler on. He's like, yeah, he's going ahead and get that stuff done too. So I was like, okay, cool. So I'm down and out for today and tomorrow, and I won't be back out until Wednesday. Now, I was taking off Saturday because I got to preach in this revival. And at the same time, on Saturday, my wife's car, her engine blew up inside the Kia. It ain't blow up, but it started ticking, making a whole bunch of ticking sounds, rattling sounds. Then it had the loss of power. So need a new engine for that. I took off one sensor that was on it that went up to the valves, and it had metal shavings all over the sensors and stuff. So when it had all those metal shavings and they're doing all that ticking and clanging and has loss of power and stuff, I'm like, okay. So I got to get an engine for my wife's car as well. So we just down to one vehicle now till we get that fixed and stuff. So I'm like, okay, here we go with that. So that's what's going on with me. Unexpected 2 days off, and because of these 2 days, I'm losing $1,250 today, and then I'm losing $1,900 on Tuesday. So what's that? $1,250 and $1,900. What's that, y'all? That's two. That's three. What? $3,150. Yeah. So that's $3,150 that I'm losing these 2 days that I've been down for the week. Because that's what the 2 loads pay me. I was asking my daughter, hey, Jada, can I borrow your Jeep? So that's what's going on with me, man. Thank you for listening to me. Y'all have a great day.